categories really help you sell more books? Well, I'm going to answer that question and a whole lot more category questions in today's video. Let me start off by clarifying the difference between the categories in KDP versus what's on Amazon. The two categories that you select in KDP and other platforms are what's called BISAC codes. This stands for the Book Industry Standards and Communications, and they're the industry standard codes used worldwide to categorize the primary genre, topic, and theme of your book. These are used to help places like libraries and bookstores to group your books with similar books on their shelves or on their online databases. Amazon, on the other hand, wants to make things even easier for their customers. So they've made thousands of categories and subcategories based on customer search habits, and these categories are always changing, with categories being added, removed, or changed all the time. So you want to make sure that you take your time and pick the top one or two BISAC categories that best fits your book. These BISAC categories will also be the basis for the categories Amazon defaults your book to go into. But don't worry, you can change that and even add in more Amazon categories, but more on that in a second. Hey Right Writers, it's Keith Wheeler, and I want to help you produce, promote, and profit from a great book. If you want that too, then be sure to subscribe to the channel and smash the little bell icon so you get alerted every time I put out a video. So how do I find categories? Well, there are two main ways for finding categories on Amazon. You can manually go into Amazon, look up books that's similar to your book, scroll down to the product details section and see what categories they have their books in. And then you can check out those categories. Similar to keywords, you can check out the top 10 books in that category and see what their average BSR or bestseller rank is. This will help you determine if that's a category that you can compete in. So you see, yes, categories can help you sell more books by making you more discoverable on Amazon. That said, if your category is super competitive, it'll be harder for you to gain visibility unless you're already selling quite a few books. So the key to categories is to first and foremost select relevant categories. Then you want to try to find categories where the top 10 books have a BSR that you can compete with. For example, 10,000 to 100,000. Now, if you can't compete right now with books that are 100,000 in ranking, then you might want to pick ones with an even lower ranking to start with. Now, if you don't want to spend all the time manually finding categories, I did a video that shows how you can use Publisher Rocket to see all the categories your competitors are using all at a quick glance. I'll drop a link to that down in the description below. So how many categories should I ask for? Well, you can have your book in up to 10 categories. That said, if you can't find 10 relevant categories, then only ask for the relevant categories you can find. It's better to only have your book in, let's say, 5 relevant categories than having it in 10 categories, but 5 of them don't fit your book. Well, I heard I should find obscure categories with low competition and list my books there so I can get the bestseller tag. There are two main reasons why you don't want to do that. First, if you have your book in a non-relevant category and you happen to get a sale, that can really confuse the Amazon algorithm about what your target audience really is. And if Amazon doesn't know who your target audience is, it won't show it as often in people's recommended for you lists. Another huge reason why you don't want to list your book in categories that aren't relevant to it is at the bottom of every product page on Amazon, there is a report button. What this means is that users could start reporting your book if it's in the wrong category. While there may not be a specific report for wrong category option, they can still select report abuse. Trust me, I've seen it happen to numerous authors. And if you start getting reported, it won't take long before Amazon intervenes. So again, your best bet is to fill out 1 to 2 relevant BISAC categories when you're setting up your book to publish. This will help readers find you easier on online databases, libraries, and places like that. Next, you want to find up to 10 relevant categories with competition that you can compete with based on the BSR of the top 10 books in that category. This will help your book with discoverability and better your chances of selling more books. Speaking of selling more books, would you like to learn my secret on how I get my books in over 20 bookstores? Click on this video right here and I'll show you how I got my books in stores in cities and states I've never even been to. Or you can check out this video that YouTube picked out just for you. I'll catch you in the next video, and remember to write right.